Hello, in this video we will take a look at how do we work with Windows services in PowerShell. Now when you type services in the search bar, you get the services, and this window shows all the services that are installed in your machine, and there are many services, as you can see, are in currently running state, which are performing many tasks in background. We have the name of the service, description of the service, the status. As you can see, we have running. Some services would be stopped. So as you can see, which one are not showing in the running status. They all are disabled. They are not running. You also have a startup type. There are many services that are having startup type as automatic. So what that means is when the machine boots up, the services are bound to run automatically. There are services which would be manual. So what this means is you can select the service and then start the service, and then you can then stop the service, right? So these all are the manual operations. So this is how the services works in the Windows operating system. So let's go ahead and understand how do we work with all these services in PowerShell. So first, let's get all the list of the services that are installed in this machine. So the way we get this is get service, and if you hit run, you will see all the services that we just saw here as well, along with the status. So you can see status, name, and the display name, right? Now let's say if you would like to get a specific service with the name, so you will write get service, you will specify the name and then the name of the service. Now for an example, let's say we would like to get one of the service called data usage. So if you double click on this, you will see the service name, which is DUSMSVC. So let's just copy that, go back, put it here and hit run. And as you can see, now you will get only the specific service. Okay, now once we have the service, as we can see, it is in the running state. Let's try to stop the service. We will say stop service, name, and we already have the name. Let's put it over here. Let's hit run. And now you would see that service would have been stopped. This is the previous status. Let's go and check that. Let's open up this up. And as you can see, now it's not running. Okay, so let's, as you can see, it's on the start. I think we should just refresh it. Let's click on refresh and you will see it is now no longer running, right? It has stopped now. So let's go back and then let's try to start that. So we will say start service and then the name, hit run. And as you can see, this is the previous status. So now it is changing the service to a start. And what that means is now the service should have started. So let's go back, right click, refresh, and you can see the service is now running. All right. Now let's say you would like to get a list of all the running services. So how do we get that? Let's go for that. So the get service, where object, we will say $_dot, which is the status, equals to running. All right, so that should give us all the running Windows services, right? So you can see the one which is stopped, we are not getting that. We're getting only the running ones. Now we also have startup type. So if you would like to filter your services in the startup type, you can do that as well. So if you say start type equals to manual, you hit run, and you will get all the services where the startup type is manual, right? So if you click on this, you get a lot of manual startup type. So all these services are returning where the startup is manual. Okay, now let's see how do you actually change the startup type. All right, so let's pick an example of our service. Let's just get rid of this. Let's get rid of this for now. Let's put clear screen in the beginning. Let's hit enter, and now we have this data usage service which is running. Let's go back. Let's check the data usage service. There we go. We have the data usage service. So let's go ahead and stop the service for now. The service is stopped and the startup type is automatic. let's go back and try to change the startup type of this data usage service. So we will say get service name data usage, and instead of the get service, sorry, we need to use the set service. Now we are trying to set the different property on that, different action on that, right? So set service name, and then what we want to set is the startup type, and we would like to go for the manual. All right, so let's go ahead, hit run, and now we don't see any error. So what that means is instead of the automatic, now the startup type should change to manual. So let's go ahead, right click, refresh, and you see now it's manual. Okay, so from the manual, if you would like to change it back to automatic, all you need to do is come back to this space and now automatic, select that, hit run, right click, refresh, and you can see now it's automatic. All right, so I hope this simple example helped you to understand how do you work with Windows services. You use the get service, start service, stop service. You can get the services that are with the specific status, and then you can also work with the services and set the startup type. I thank you for watching the video.